road code. I have no idea how to read that. Change it to 4-game suspension max. So road code thinks that Vontaze Burfict should be suspended for 4 games. Let me know in the comments section how many games that you think Vontaze Burfict should be suspended for. Because he got suspended for the entire season. The reason why he was suspended for the entire season is because his past incidences. That's very, very key in this situation. Let's go to That Boy Tsunami. Hashtag Raiders, should we bring back Brandon Marshall? Well, That Boy Tsunami, I think bringing back Brandon Marshall is something interesting to consider. He was a surprise cut. I know I personally was pretty surprised when he was cut. How about this, That Boy Tsunami? Make sure you're subscribed because I can guarantee you I'm about to break down some 5 linebackers the Raiders should target in free agency. Let's go to my girl, Tatiana Flucker. Do you think Burfict can win any appeal against the league for a lower suspension? People are talking, but here's the thing. I think that he has a 1 Chucky head % chance of, winning this appeal. When you go back and look at the 13 past suspensions, he has this knock on him for being a dirty player. And the NFL is always trying to just set a precedent here. And I think they're going to really try to say, okay, Vontaze, you got to stop doing your thing. They want to make it a safer league. It was a bad hit. It was not a clean hit. Do I think it deserved a season-long suspension? No, I definitely do not think. But here, Tatiana, I'll take you through our timeline here of Vontaze Burfict's past history because that's why he's been suspended for so long. So you have September 2013, where he was fined $31K, and then he was fined $21K for his hit on Stephen Hill. And then in 2014, fined $25K. As you can see, they're going to get progressively worse. Then he was fined $69.5K in December 2015. Let's go to 2016, where he suspended 3 games for his hit on Antonio Brown. Then October 2016, fined $75K for stepping on LeGarrette Blount. Another one in 2016, right? And then let's go to 2017. Suspended 3 games for his hit against Kansas City. And then another one in October 2017, $12.1K for kicking the fullback. Then he was suspended 4 games for violating the PED policy. That was $1.84 million. And then you have 2018, and now in 2019, Vontaze Burfict has this, background where he has a past of being a dirty player. I'm not taking away the talent of Vontaze. He's a very talented player. And a lot of coaches and players say, hey, when he's on my team, he's one of the best teammates I've ever had. There's a reason why he's wearing that C on his jersey. But the issue for Vontaze is the hits. And it was a helmet-to-helmet hit. Do I think it deserved a flag? Yes. Do I think it deserved for him to be ejected? I'm not sure about that. Do I think that he should have been suspended the entire season? If you look at just the hit itself, no. But you have to account for the past history around Vontaze Burfict. Let's go to some more questions here from Eric Gill. I understand it's early, but when Vontaze gets suspended for the whole year, I need a drink. Mitch, you think John can bring the team together after all the disasters this yeet? I'll tell you what. For everything that has happened to the Raiders from the offseason around Antonio Clown, FAB in the comments section, and then you look at what happened with a lot of the cuts that they made, and then you look at, a lot of the injuries that they've had, already a lot of the drama, plus the season, the schedule. They have a lot of things going on for them. But I am confident in John and Mike. They got a long way to go. But at the end of the day, you have to hope because the Raiders went from being a team that we were all really worried about in week 3 to being a team that, they looked pretty damn good yesterday. So I'm going to keep my faith in the Raiders. Fingers crossed. Maybe get some fingers crossed in the comments section. Let's go to Eduardo Ruiz. What up, brother? Is Cabinda on the Lions roster or practice squad? Jason Cabinda is on the Lions practice squad. And Eduardo, 2 things. 1, I like where your head's at because you might see Jason Cabinda coming up here in a little bit. 2, get a picture. Let's go to Daryle Bumann. Should we trade some draft capital to get a replacement? Do I think we should trade some draft capital? No. One of the reasons why I don't really want the Raiders to trade any draft capital, unless it's realistically for a Jalen Ramsey type player, is because the Raiders already lost the 3rd and a 5th for the Antonio Brown trade. The Raiders are still in a building mode, right? I mean, we got to think long term. I think there is enough free agent talent out there, especially at the linebacker position, that have also players who have potentially already played on the Raiders that we could go out and get instead of trading draft capital. Let's go to Dale Bauer. What up, Dale? You got a drum set I could borrow? Because I need it right now. You can't repunish a guy for past things he's already paid for, so I disagree with you. He should be able to win an appeal. Dale, I appreciate that you disagree. It's not too many people actually tell me they disagree, so I respect you. I'll tip my cap to you. But here's the thing. Yes, he's already paid for past things, but the NFL is trying to set an example here. And unfortunately, it's going to be with Vontaze Burfict. He will appeal, and he should appeal. Does that mean he's going to win? I don't know. But the fact that it went from him missing a potential few games to literally 20 minutes later, him being suspended for the entire season. I mean, regardless, I'm thinking Vontaze best case scenario. If he can get it down to 8 games, I think honestly, that's best case scenario. Let's go to Michael Joseph Powell II on Facebook. Shout out to you. Love the shirt. If you guys like the shirt that Michael has, that's also at Raider Nation Store. Go hit them up on IG at Raider Nation Store or www.raidernationstore.net. And if you do that, use promo code Mitch20 for 20% off. Okay, is the league not backing down on protecting players from concussions? This is the league not backing down on protecting players from concussions. I agree. I mean, I don't know. Some people might argue that Vontaze Burfict is the reason why Antonio Brown is a little crazy now. So we literally just dealt with that. But yeah, this is the NFL literally cracking down. And when you look at a player who has the past history of a Vontaze Burfict, that's why they're cracking down on this. But Michael, thanks for watching on Facebook. For everyone who's watching on Facebook right now, you want to become a top fan, click the share button. And if you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube, make sure you guys are subscribed to the #1 Raiders channel here on YouTube. We're at 26,761 subscribers. We're going at a pretty quick rate, and it's because of the nation. The nation is family. I want people to know about this show. Our voice needs to be heard because we are always, I don't know, I think the NFL kind of covers us up a little bit. So let's let the nation's voice be heard. Get us to 30K subscribers. Going to be doing some more giveaways, t-shirt giveaways, ticket giveaways. And, we got to keep the lights on here. So get us to 30K subscribers. Let's go to Donta Hill. What up, brother? If you was the coach, what would you do in this situation with Vontaze Burfict? I don't get paid nearly enough to answer that question. No, Vontaze, if I'm the coach, I think you should always back up your players a little bit. Was it a dirty hit? Yes, but if I'm Jon Gruden, I'm going to try to put my best team out there, and Vontaze Burfict gives me the best chance to win. So if I'm Jon Gruden, I keep Vontaze on the team. I don't really see why we would get rid of him if he could potentially come back for us a little bit later on. So, Donta, I appreciate your question on Facebook. Looks like we got another one rolling in here from C-Town Roach. We need Marshall back. If you guys want Brandon Marshall to come back, type Marshall in the comments section. And C-Town Roach, you might see Brandon Marshall flowing up here in a little later. It's probably not the best teaser I've ever done. But, hey, got to get what you got to get. Let's go to George Garcia. Patriots helmet-to-helmet on quarterback and a KO. So I've had a few people ask me about, the Josh Allen hit compared to the Vontaze Burfict hit. Here's the thing. You can't compare that hit and this hit for the simple reason is I don't remember who the Patriots player is that hit Josh Allen in the head. But who? Jonathan Jones. Thank you, Tom. But Jonathan Jones, I can already tell you, does not have the past history of Vontaze Burfict. Was it a dirty hit? Yes. Were both dirty hits? Yes. But Vontaze Burfict, it's different because of his past history. Let's go to Trevon. What's up, my man? Go get Ramsey. That's the only draft capital I'd give up. You know what, Trevon? You and I, we're on the same page. That's the only way I would go out and give up a player. And considering the fact that the Raiders right now have only 5 linebackers on the depth chart right now, 3 of them are really only the ones that have experience. The Raiders played so much nickel. They only really played nickel after Vontaze Burfict went out last week. And we heard players like LaMarcus Joyner talking about that they're excited for new changes. Here's the thing. If you're going to play a lot more nickel, you better go out and maybe go out and find a Jalen Ramsey type player who can play man. But if you're going to have to play more nickel, go get a physical type cornerback. Now, I don't know. Nickel would be interesting, but if I had 1 million nickels, this might be bad. I'd probably put them all on BetDSI. What do you guys think? Is that okay? Chatsports.com/bet. Use my promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. If you put down $50, you'll get 60 for free. If you put down 1 million nickels, I have no idea how much that is. But BetDSI has hooked us up with the best deal out there. And I'm giving it to you guys. If you can find me a better betting deal out there, You know what? I literally challenge you to do it. 120% deposit bonus. Put down $50, get 60 for free, bet on the Raiders, and you get a free shirt from Raider Nation Store. You also got to follow them on IG at Raider Nation Store. Let's go to That Boy Tsunami. Trade for Roquan McMillan from the Dolphins. By the way, I'm in class right now. Well, I don't. Thanks. I don't know. Thanks, but I don't. Stay in school. Don't watch the Raiders Report. Do watch the Raiders Report. School's important. Not that important. I'm hearing in my voice or in my ears now. Back to school. All right. That Boy Tsunami. Appreciate you watching. All right. Let's go to Byron Hernandez. All right. Shit. Hang on. First off, Byron, get a picture. Hashtag Raiders. We always have one of the hardest schedules every year. We always travel a crazy amount of miles. Don't understand how the NFL can continue to do this every year. Woo! You know what, man? You're not wrong. I mean, the Raiders, they're going to travel 40,000 miles this year. The Jets only travel 9. We got to go to London. I mean, considering the fact that we don't have a home game from week 3 up until week 9 against the Lions. If you want to go to the Lions game, I got tickets. Let me know. But does the NFL hate the Raiders? I'll let you guys decide that. How many Chucky heads is that? Got a 2 in the background. About it. Let's go to Dan Woods. Dan, if a bear shits in your last name... Wait, no. That's not how it goes. Dan, what is it? Does a bear shit in Dan's last name? Is that how it would be? Got it. Sick. Horrible job on my part. Which hit was worse? Vontaze Burfict's or Jones Pat's hit? Honestly, I think the Patriots hit was worse. But you have to look at Vontaze Burfict's past history. That's the difference here. Also, dude was like literally knocked out on the field. So, both bad hits, Dan. And if I butchered the thing I was trying to say about your last name, I apologize. I apologize. So we got some breaking news. Vontaze Burfict suspended for the entire season. So what's your one-word reaction? Okay, remember when you swear, YouTube blocks it. So if you want to say the F word, say Tom. If you want to say a word that sounds like my name with a B, just say Mitch. It's all good. One-word reaction to the Vontaze Burfict suspension, because my man Vontaze has been suspended for the entire 2019 season, and that is also including if the Raiders make the playoffs. He will appeal, but I want your one-word reactions to the Raiders losing their captain on defense, Vontaze Burfict. I need a drink. Why is nobody talking about Dakota Allen, the linebacker we just signed? Well, you're talking about him, so good job. He was on our depth chart, for one. But Dakota Allen, to me, he's an okay player. Like, he is, I think, just a depth player. He's not really going to, I think, make a big impact, I think, on our defense right away. Doesn't know the system. So what I was trying to do is find past linebackers that can make, I think, an impact a little bit quicker than maybe a player like Dakota Allen. Let's go to Eduardo Ruiz. Why does the nation want Marshall? He's old, he's hurt, and he will always be a Bronco. You know, I understand he will always be a Bronco, but if there's one thing the Broncos have been able to do, it's breed linebackers. So if you can help the Raiders win football games, that's what I care about. And if he is healthy, maybe you can go get him. But yeah, I think the reason why a player like Brandon Marshall is still unsigned is simply because of the injury history. If they check out, which I think we should at least look at, then maybe you go out and get Marshall. Eduardo, though, I can't even tell if you're a Raiders fan because you don't have a picture. So let's go to Sean Manning. NFL just found out a reason to suspend Vontaze. I don't really think that's true. I mean, the reason was it was a bad hit on Jack Doyle. I mean, if you can honestly watch the hit and say that it was clean, I think you're just saying that because you're a Raiders fan. It was a bad hit. And then when you take into account all the past history that Vontaze has, 13 suspensions, he should be suspended. Like, he should be. For the entire season, I won't go that far. Now, he will appeal. He's going to try to get it down. But honestly, I think best case scenario, you're looking at like an 8-game suspension. Like, the NFL is going to crack down on Vontaze Burfict. Also, Sean, get a picture. Robert Jackson, kind of looking like Andrew Jackson on the dollar bill here. $20 bill? Is that what it is? 20? Yeah? Okay. Bring back Alden Smith. He's clean. I don't know if those words have ever been said in a sentence. And turned his life around. Y'all... Alden Smith. Aldon Smith. No. I don't want Smith. Sorry. Not good. Let's go. Next guy. Mike Kelly. What is that picture? Think we should go out and trade for Diggs. So Diggs doesn't want to be traded. He basically said that all the trade rumors around him being traded were false. If we could add an extra wide receiver, sure, I wouldn't mind it. But Stephon Diggs right now, I don't think really wants to be traded to the Raiders. Daryle had another good game, 4 straight games with a touchdown. Darren Waller, 33 catches, tied for most ever by tight end through the first 4 games of the season with Antonio Gates. I'm not saying our options are perfect, but, you know, Stephon Diggs, he doesn't want to be traded. Let's go to JDog209. Guys, make sure you're using hashtag Raiders to get your questions featured live on the show. So, plug in these new guys and play football better than wasting money on trash players we already had. I mean, you're still talking about Dakota Allen. I hear you. Plug in these new guys and play football. Are we really sure, though, that Dakota Allen is better than those past players? I'm not sure. You know, like, there's a way to see it. We'll see. Hey, if Dakota Allen goes out and plays well, get him more playing time. Look at Eric Harris this past week. They were starting Curtis Riley every single week, and it was kind of driving me nuts. Then you put in Eric Harris, goes out and has, 7 tackles? In my opinion, the MVP of Week 4. Has a touchdown. If they play well, sure. But I also know what I'm getting from some of these other players, and I have yet to see what I can get out of Dakota Allen. Let's go to Michael Joseph Powell II on Facebook. I am live on YouTube, and I am live on Facebook. Make sure you guys check out both of those. Hey, Mitch, what did you think about Nick Morrow's gameplay yesterday? Well, how about this, Michael? Instead of me telling you, why don't you go on YouTube or on Facebook, and you can check out the grades that I gave out. Okay, for the entire Week 4. I gave out so many grades yesterday, and I can promise you they were grades that you would be proud to show your parents. So go check it out on YouTube, youtube.com/Raiders Report. Let's go to, I almost said F and Martin. You know what? I'm going to stick with it. F and Martin. Raiders will win in London. Okay, how about this, Efren? Are you confident? How confident are you that the Raiders will win in London? Going up against the Bears, because they're already underdogs. Mitchell Trubisky, he's not going to play. But that Bears defense looks like the best defense in the entire NFL. So if you guys are with Efren and you think that the Raiders are going to win in London next week, you know what I'm going to do, right? Go put your money where your mouth is. I want people to back up what they say. And the one thing that I learned really quick in Oakland was that Raider fans, they talk it, but they back it up. So if you really think that the Raiders are going to win in London, back it up. Bet DSI, chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. And how about this, Efren? If you get started with BetDSI, I want you to DM me. DM me on Instagram a screenshot that you signed up and deposited. I'll get you a free shirt on Raider Nation store. And you know what? Anyone who wants to put money down on BetDSI because the Raiders are going to win in London, DM me on Instagram a screenshot that you signed up. I'll get you hooked up with something pretty special. Sound good? All right, let's go to Daryle. Oh, boy. All right, I'll stick with Daryle. Why is Marlon Humphrey not getting suspended or fined for choking OBJ? That's kind of a big deal. I think the NFL is going to focus right now on the Vontaze Burfict hit and then move on from that. But again, the reason why Vontaze Burfict is getting suspended for the entire season is because of his past history. We'll see the Marlon Humphrey choking incident. I don't think it's actually as big of a deal as the hit that Vontaze had. That's just me. Let's go to Donta Hill. What up, Donta? I just feel he shouldn't be suspended for the whole season. If you look at just the hit itself, yes, I agree. I don't think Vontaze should be suspended for the entire season. But again, it's the 13 past incidences, right? I mean, his 12 previous were $4.12 million in fines. I haven't done the math yet, and if I did the math, this show would be 2 hours long. I will get the math for you. But when you look at all the past history of Vontaze, that's why he's suspended for the whole year. Let's go to Latoya, one of my most loyal watchers. What's up, my man? We have extra linebackers. We need offensive tackles because of Devy being out. So Devy's actually been playing guard. Gabe Jackson should be back soon. I originally said Jackson will be back in Week 7. I don't really think we have extra linebackers. I mean, I definitely wouldn't say that we have linebacking depth at all. I mean, you go look at a lot of other teams, they have a lot more linebackers than what we do. And our linebackers also don't really have experience. They also don't know the defense that well. Like, we literally just signed 2 players just 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to disagree with you there. Let's go to Tyler. Oh. Has any other player been, what does that say, retroactively punished for former penalties? I mean, sure, there's been a lot of players that have been penalized, but you have to look at Vontaze Burfict's past history. Tyler, oh hi. It's a cute picture of your dog. Off the top of my head, no, I can't name another player off the top of my head right now, but like Vontaze has definitely that past history where that's why you're seeing this come up. Let's go to Ruben Flores with some sick flow. Trent Brown looked banged up. He is. So in week 3, he got banged up. I think it was like a hammy. And then week 4, he hurt his knee. He was questionable to play in that game. And then what happened? Oh, wait, hold on. Week 2, he was originally hurt. Week 3, he hurt his knee. And then this past week, week 4, he did something to his fingers. I mean, Trent Brown still played okay. I gave him a C grade overall. But one of the reasons why Trent Brown right now is trotting out there, even though he is banged up. So I'll, give Trent Brown a little bit of credit there for trotting out on the field when he's banged up. We're thin right now at tackle. We're thin right now. Brandon Parker was also out. I don't know if I want Brandon Parker on the field, but he was also out last week. And when you have Gabe Jackson out and now Devy out, he's trotting out there at least. But yeah, Trent Brown is far from 100% healthy. So get us to 30K subscribers. We're currently at 26,761. We got a lot of comments flowing in, and I appreciate everyone who's watching us live right now. If you're a subscriber to the show, okay, and I don't answer your question, you guys can hit me up. My handle's down there on Twitter, on Instagram. But if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you are. Click that big red button. If you're colorblind, it might look gray, maybe dark gray. I'm not quite sure. But get us to 30K subscribers, 26,761. We're doing Raiders vs. Lions ticket giveaway. I'll announce the winner tomorrow. But get us to 20K. Get us to 30K subscribers. I'd really appreciate it. Let's go to Danny Grant. Is Josh Jacobs a hit or miss? I'm actually confused why you're asking this question. I think Josh Jacobs has actually looked really good this year. Week 1, he had, 85 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Week 2 against the Chiefs, he had 12 carries on 99 yards. He had a 51-yard run. Week 3 versus the Vikings was 10 carries for 44 yards. He couldn't really get a lot of work in that game simply because that game got out of hand so quick. And then this past week, had 17 carries for 79 yards, which is 4.6 yards per carry. Ran the ball tough at the end of the game. I think Josh Jacobs has been good. And he's also been getting more work in the passing game. So, a little confused by that question. Let's go to Tatiana Flucker. New rule. Instead of saying the F word, instead of saying Tom, maybe for the next week, we'll just say Flucker. This is the NFL making an example out of Vontaze. Tatiana, we agree. They're tired of paying out for retired players with medical issues. I don't know about that, but I do agree that they are trying to make an example of Vontaze. Let's go to Raider Krey. I almost said Key. Do you think Tyrell Williams is a true number 1 receiver? I don't. I don't think he is I'll say 1A type receiver. Like, when I think of a 1 receiver, I think of guys like, I'm about to say the best wide receivers in the league, but like Hopkins, Julio, Devontae Adams, like a true 1 wide receiver. Tyrell, to me, is a good 1B. When you look at like the Vikings, the Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, I don't know if either of those receivers, honestly, is a true number 1. But I think a 1B, when you compare with somebody, that's when you're at your best. Now, I'll say this. Tyrell is our wide receiver 1, but our best option right now in the passing game is Darren Waller. He is unbelievable. 6'6", 250, almost uncoverable. And there's a reason why. I think, he's at like 37 targets, 33 catches. Tyrell's been good. Darren Waller's been better. Let's go to Michael Joseph Powell II, who I think has watched us for the entire hour. Michael, I don't know if you're a top fan, okay? But I want you to click share, click like. I appreciate that you've watched the video this entire time. Why can't I say Rolando McClain? Rolando McClain. Why was that so difficult? I have no idea. I promise you I'm not already drunk. Even though I was celebrating a whole bunch last night because living in Dallas, the Cowboys lost and the Raiders won. It was a good night for me. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to Robert Hudson. How many Chucky heads that Carr makes it to Vegas if he can't take over this team in light of our defensive woes? I still think Carr is going to be around in 2020. I think the only way that he's not is if they literally lose all their games. So Robert, I think it's a good question, but in terms of Chucky heads, I'll give it 3 Chucky heads. Last question here from Scott Moore. Mac is going to go off, true or false? I am obligated to say false. I think if the Raiders do exactly what they did against the Broncos, limiting Von Miller, we're going to hold Khalil Mack. No sacks for Khalil Mack, okay? Raiders versus Lions. Get your score predictions in. Scott, I like where your head's at. But last thing, I don't know if you're a subscriber because you do not have a picture. Scott, get a picture and make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/Raiders Report. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.